Good morning, good evening, or good night. Welcome to another Market Down Productions. Again, I am Sterling Archer. I am joined today by my good friend Cyril Figgis, who's really my friend of me. Anywho, tonight we will be talking about AEW All Out 2022, giving our predictions and making sure that I'm right. That's pretty much how it's going to go. All right, guys, we have 14 matches listed, so please bear with us. It's going to be fun anyway. Sit back, give us a like and a subscribe. We're going to start with the pre-show. First match I have is Tomohiro Ishii versus Eddie Kingston. Cyril, who you got winning this?
Oh man, this is such a fun match. I'm so excited for it. I actually think this is a rematch from a New Japan show that happened somewhat recently. I'm going to give it to Eddie just because we're on AEW home turf. Typically these New Japan guys lose when this happens. I never like rooting against Ishii. That man is a gift from Japan and above. But I'm going to give it to Eddie Kingston, and at least he's on the card, unlike Sammy Guevara.
Holy shit. Stinger, I like it.
Right?
I am agreeing with you for the first time tonight. I do believe Eddie Kingston is also going to win. I'm with you. I never want to bet against Ishii. I don't, but I do feel, however, just home field advantage. Give Kingston the win. He desperately needs it. I think Ishii is in the predicament where he doesn't necessarily need a win at the moment, and L won't do anything for him. So I am also going Eddie Kingston. Moving right on, we have a singles match for the AEW All Atlantic Championship. We have my boy Pac going against Kip Sabian. Who you got winning, Cyril?
This is another weird one. Kip Sabian, for those who aren't familiar with his story, he has been away from AEW for over a year, where he was teaming up with Miro. And Miro took him out of action after he let him down. And we haven't seen Kip's face in over a year. But that doesn't mean we haven't seen Kip. Kip has been at every AEW Dynamite, every Rampage, every pay-per-view, in the front row, standing with a box over his head saying, "Underrated, over it." I don't understand what that was. I still don't. No one's explained it. But it's been a consistent constant in AEW for like a year. I can't imagine that they're bringing this guy back to lose, but it's Pac's first defense in AEW. He's defended the belt in other companies, in other countries. He's defended it against some top talent. But this is going to be his first defense, I think, on AEW television proper, and especially on pay-per-view. So it's going to feel weird to see someone as dominant as Pac lose so early, so quickly. A real confusing matchup. I'm going to go with the wild card, and I'm going to say Kip Sabian.
Okay. Our first disagreement of the night.
Bound to happen.
I am going to go Pac. I just have to be honest. I don't know Kip Sabian as much as I would like to. I feel like I've heard the name, but I don't believe I've ever seen a match. I do agree with you that for him to, he is a wild card, and for them to bring his name up must mean something. I don't know if this is a push coming or what have you, but I'm just going to kind of stick with the devil I know in this one. Forgive my ignorance. I don't know this guy as much, so I just got to go with Pac. Just off the strength of he's the one I know more. To move into another match with someone I don't know, we have the singles match for the FTW Championship, which is Hook versus Angelo Parker. And I'll start because I already gave the disclaimer. I'm not sure who Angelo Parker is. He's
2.0. 2.0. He's the
oh,
one with
that
the
guy? Oh,
yeah,
he's absolutely going to lose. Hook.
What a journey that was. Oh, my God.
Now I know exactly who he is. Oh, he's absolutely going to lose. I'm going Taz's son. Are you crazy? Who you got, Cyril?
Knowing who it was, not knowing who it was, never bet against Hook. FTW champion retains. This is going to be longer than the match itself.
Yikes. I must agree. Moving on, it looks like we're going to have a 6-man tag team match between House of Black with Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews, my boy, versus Miro, Darby Allin, and Sting. Who you got, Cyril?
I think it's going to be a very controversial night, but I think House of Black is going to give Sting his first loss in AEW.
Say what?
I'm not saying Sting is going to take the pin. I'm not saying Sting is getting pinned here, but Sting is undefeated in AEW, mostly through almost entirely through partnerships with Darby Allin. But I think we're going to see the makeshift team of Miro, Darby, and Sting lose. And I think this, because there hasn't been any payoff between spraying Sting in the face, his change of face paint. There hasn't been, and there might not be. But I think House of Black needs a big win. I think this is a makeshift team that can take a loss. And it'll be a big feather in their cap to say they gave Sting his first loss in AEW. I'm going to give it to House of Black. I'm going to say Darby is going to take the pin, but don't know who's gonna who's gonna pin him. But I'm giving it to House of Black, and it's gonna be a wild night.
Okay, I understand your point of view, and let's be honest, Sting is undefeated, but Darby Allin is defeated. He has taken so many L's that it's borderline unbearable at the moment. But I agree with you. I think this is just a mashup of sorts. Adding Miro helps the appeal. It helps the ocular, but end of the day, I think House of Black needs it more. They've kind of been here and there. We haven't seen many matches unless it's Brody King, unless it's on Rampage. I apologize for not watching Rampage, guys. I'm going House of Black as well. I think they need it. They need to show something. I haven't seen anything from them in a long time. Yeah, they take the win. Moving on to another 6-man tag match, we have Wardlow and FTR. That's Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood, for people who don't know, the greatest tag team on the fucking earth. And they'll be going against Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns, which is Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. Alex Shelley is Impact, correct?
Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, both Motor City Machine Guns, are currently on Impact.
Okay, I thought so. I've seen them recently, I want to say. Okay. Yep. Who you got winning, buddy?
Every night, every match is controversial. I am once again going to give it the unpredictable pick, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to go with Team Ring of Honor, Team Impact, Jay Lethal, and the Motor City Machine Guns. I think you don't bring in a team like them out of nowhere. I'm not saying they can't take a loss. They've done it before in AEW, but you bring them in to build up hype for a potential dream match against FTR. I've spoken at length already about how special a team the Machine Guns are, how influential to the tag team scene they've been over the years. And they are on a short list of dream matches that AEW can offer with FTR at this point. There aren't many more dream matches left out there. This is one of them. So give them that win, build to a rematch 2-on-2 for the Ring of Honor tag titles between FTR and the Motor City Machine Guns. And maybe that'll lead to another match between Wardlow and Jay Lethal as well. Whatever, we'll be fine with it. We'll survive. But I'm going to give it to Jay and the Machine Guns.
Okay. I'm going to do the opposite of what I would usually do. I would think with my WWE brain that the guys without the titles would win, so that the guys with the titles can take an L and nobody, it doesn't cause too much of a fuss. Okay. But I have learned to never, and I mean never, count FTR out. I don't see them losing ever. Even when they do lose, I close my eyes. There's no L's for FTR for me. I don't ever want to see them lose. And just off the sheer will of that, I'm going to go with Wardlow and FTR. It's less about Wardlow and more about FTR. I just don't want to see them lose, and I refuse to see them lose, so I'm just taking it like that.
You're going with your heart. You're going with your heart. I respect it.
But you raise a good point, and this is not WWE, so Team ROH and Impact might actually win. I'm fine with it. I'll just, wince a little bit and close my eyes and act like it didn't happen. Not to mention there are so many matches that it's fine if I'm wrong about one. So we're gonna move on to what I think is going to be an absolute slobber knocker, as JR says, or a banger. We have a tournament final for the inaugural AEW World Trios Championship, which would be the Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, versus to be determined. But come on, guys, we all know it's going to be Dark Order. I would love for it to be the Best Friends because I love Orange Cassidy. However, Orange Cassidy is very much like Darby Allin right now, and he is very defeated. With that being said, Dark Order versus the Elite, who you got, James? And if it is the Best Friends and we're both wrong, which we're not because I'm never wrong, who do you got, Best Friends versus the Elite?
All right. In the instance that it is the Best Friends, it is 100% the Elite, even though the Best Friends also deserve it. All three men have been rocking it in that company since day one, and they deserve gold around their waists, period.
Okay.
That said, no, I don't think they're making it to the finals. Sorry, guys, you do deserve it. I do think it's going to be Dark Order versus the Elite. They're the only two teams that have genuine stories going on as this is happening. And in that case, I'm going to go Dark Order. I think they have been, I don't want to, it's hard to stay consistent with a team that has lost so much and has been used so sparingly, but they are consistent in the sense that whenever they are on TV, whenever they are a part of the product, they kill it every time. They are always entertaining. They are always putting on amazing matches, and they have been floundering. Unfortunately, it's the truth, since Mr. Brody Lee's passing. They've had a great role as being the backup to Hangman when he was ascending to the AEW World Title. That was an amazing, beautiful, lovely story, but it wasn't their story. It was Hangman's story that they were a part of. They deserve their own moment here. I'm sad that, don't get me wrong, Hangman with the Dark Order does feel right, but at the same time, I am sad because Evil Uno deserves some love as well. 10, as much as I love to bust his balls, he does deserve some love too, because he's been with that group for a very long time. It would be nice if this was Dark Order proper, but we're not getting that. And instead, more than likely, if this does continue, we're going to get the emotional turmoil of Hangman Adam Page versus, once again, his old friends, the Elite and Kenny Omega specifically, a man he has not interacted with since he took the AEW title off of him last year. So this is the story to go with. This is the emotional feud to go with, and it's the Dark Order's time. And I think the Undisputed Elite are going to get involved and cost the Elite the titles in the process.
Look at you. I wholeheartedly agree. I think you have never been more correct in the whole 36 years of you living. Yeah, you're 36
Whoa,
now.
I'm not that old.
You're absolutely 36 now. It's a thing.
Oh God, what a world. What a world.
With that being said, I think the no-brainer answer is the Elite. Kenny Omega just came back. The Young Bucks are as hot as they've always been. They just came off a tag team championship win, a few months ago. So it makes sense for them to win. But I just think, I love the Dark Order, man. I'm going with the underdogs. We need something for Hangman to do right now. He's fresh off a L that he maybe debatably didn't need with CM Punk. I'll leave that to the masses. Anywho, he hasn't been doing much. It'd be great for him to have some weight around him. And I think it means more for him to be the first, the trios champion. I think he's been beat on every level first. Like, he's never been the first guy to get somewhere with any belt he's ever had or any storyline. So I just think it would be a nice come up for the boy. Be cool for the Cowboy fans. So yeah, I'm going them. Moving right along to more golds, we have the four-way match for the interim AEW Women's World Championship. We have an injured Thunder Rosa, which is
sad. Let's go with sad.
It's sad. It's a curse, but it's 5% a blessing. But heal up soon. Speedy recovery. Speedy recovery. And in that match, we have Toni Storm versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus Jamie Hayter versus my girl Sheeta. Who you got taking that?
Oh my God, I want it to be Jamie Hayter so bad. I think there's so much that can come out of her winning it. It could set up for an amazing feud with Britt Baker, which has been simmering for a very long time now. Sheeta, as reliable as she is, as good as she hasn't done anything in too long to just come back in and take the title. It sucks because I'm always rooting for Sheeta. It just wouldn't make any sense. Britt Baker should not be champion again, even though she is the most over person in that division. And Toni Storm, it could very well be Toni Storm, and she carries it all the way until Thunder comes back, setting up for the match that it feels like they were building to in the first place. But I would much rather see Jamie take it, have Britt cost her down the line to Toni, and then Toni has that match with Thunder Rosa. That's some long-term booking there, pal.
Yeah.
That we're way away from that. But I think it's between Hayter and Toni, and I would rather see Jamie Hayter take it.
Okay. I disagree again. Well, I agree with the optics. I agree that it should be Jamie Hayter. That makes for best storytelling, if not Toni Storm. I just came out as Toni Storm being mid, but in all honesty, it makes sense for the story because the champion before was kind of mid. The reign was mid. I think I gotta go history here. I don't know why. Something is just telling me. I think Britt wins. I think we get Britt Rosa part 4 when Rosa's healed, or 5, 6. I don't know how many matches they've had. And then Rosa wins again. Then again, Britt will probably keep it since they did this whole Mox shit. But with that being said, I don't know why it's just in me. I'm going Britt. I think she's the most over. I think she's probably the most popular. She may not be the best in ring, but she's not the worst at all.
She could definitely carry a match. Like there's a narrative that she can't work, which isn't true. I think she's a very strong.
Oh no,
worker.
she's good.
She could just get outworked by a lot of people too. But when you're that good a character, it doesn't matter.
And I feel like they're gonna go with the history due to the character. I think the character is bigger than the belt, and it kind of just makes sense. I don't want this to happen, of course. I'm going for the underdog. I would love for Hayter to win, but I'm kind of leaning towards Baker. But maybe if Baker wins, we still get Baker Hayter later, and that's fine too. All right. After that, I'm going to a singles match that, we know it's going to be a banger. If it's not a banger, I will be honestly shocked. Bryan Danielson versus Chris Jericho. You're talking about, regardless of whatever you would like to say about Jericho, you're talking about one of the best workers that I've had the pleasure of seeing for a long time. And he's been great for too many years. And then you're talking about the actual best wrestler and worker I've probably ever seen in my life. So where do you go here? Two of the best feuding stables. Who takes a W?
I will never, ever, ever bet against Bryan Danielson. I don't care what his name is. I don't care what company he's in. I will always put money on Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon. I think this is going to be more than just a match. This is as close to Duel of the Fates as we're going to get in wrestling, because literally Daniel Garcia's heart and soul in the balance as they're fighting to see if this kid is going to become a professional wrestler or stay a sports entertainer. I'm going to go with Brian. It's very possible we're in for a swerve and Garcia costs him and has always been a tried and true member of the Jericho Appreciation Society, but I want to go with my heart. I want to say Brian beats Jericho. The JAS start beating him down, and then Daniel Garcia officially has enough, helps his hero turn the tide, and they stand strong as professional wrestlers, and the BCC gets a new member.
That was a lot. I agree with most of it. I hate that I do. I agree with about 90%.
I'll take those numbers. I'll take them.
I probably agree 100. I do think Garcia joins BCC. I just don't think BCC should be a thing, but whatever. That's my bullshit, not yours. I'll leave it alone. I agree. I think Brian wins. I've been too many years down this road to know that you do not ever, like you said, bet against Bryan Danielson. Also, I never want to see Bryan Danielson lose, even when he should lose. I think he's just one of those guys. Yep. Him and CM Punk, that's why I'm excited when they do it, but I also fear it because I don't know what side of the coin I'll be on, because those are just two guys that I don't care what storyline, what it's about, who the L serves better for, I just never want to see them lose. With that being said, I'm going Brian all the way. I don't even think Jericho has a shot at winning. The shenanigans will be at an all-time high, which is, great for entertainment, but
sports entertainment.
Ha, wink, wink. But Brian has to win this. If Brian doesn't win, I riot. And that's just that.
Well said.
Next, we have the Casino Ladder match, where the winner receives a future AEW World Championship match. In this match, we have two of the BCC members. We have Claudio. We have Wheeler Yuta. We have Penta El Zero. We have Ray Phoenix. We have Roosh. We have Andrade El Boringlow. We have Dante Martin. And we have a to-be-determined Joker, who I'm calling now before you even put your bid in. I think it's going to be MJF. That's just where I am. Who do you think is going to win? Who do you think is going to be the Joker? Who do you think is going to look the best in this match? And why is it Dante Martin?
I love Dante. I can never say he's going to be the best or most impressive in a match that has Ray Phoenix, though. Ray is just too damn good. And that's not a knock on Dante Martin, because he is amazing at such a young age. But I could not begin to tell you who I think the Joker is. I think MJF makes a lot of sense, but at the same time, it would be weird to have him come back in a multi-man match and not like interrupting Punk in some way or interrupting the AEW champion in some way. So it would feel weird. But again, he makes a lot of sense because that's a guaranteed title shot, which is what I feel like he's going to be getting when he comes back. Other than him, couldn't begin to tell you who I think it could be. Maybe a Ring of Honor talent, maybe somebody from another company in general, or I don't know, maybe somebody who's going to debut, but I couldn't even begin to think who that could be. Of the talent involved, I could see it being, I know nobody likes him, I could see it being Andrade, because typically these casino ladder match winners get their shot on Dynamite, and Andrade feels like a good Dynamite challenger. I don't see him getting a title shot on pay-per-view.
Okay.
So I could see it being Andrade. I don't think it's going to be Claudio. I think he's going to look great. I don't think it's going to be Wheeler, although I think he's going to look great. Dante Martin is probably going to have that like young kid energy that you want to, like, he's going to climb that ladder. You're going to hope for a second, and then you're going to remember it's not going to be him. Ray Phoenix is there to make everyone else look good. Pentagon is going to look good. Roosh.
He's there.
Yeah. And then to be determined, we'll see. But of the people involved, I'm going to go Andrade.
I could not disagree with you anymore. I I think the guy that is diddling Charlotte is absolutely not going to win. Let's see. I already said that I thought MJF would be the Joker. If he's not the Joker, I still have the Joker winning, even though I don't know who the Joker is. I mean, this is kind of confusing because honestly, these are really, including Andrade, these are really good participants. This is a really stacked match. And I do have to take back that I did say that I thought Dante Martin would be the most impressive when I forgot fucking Wheeler Yuta and Ray Phoenix in this match changes the ball game like ridiculously. I don't see Claudio winning. I do think he'll look great because he always looks great. I mean, it's Claudio. Yeah, win wise, I'm going to be determined. Andrade, I hate that Andrade does kind of make sense, especially if it's a dynamite defense. It makes so much sense that I just hate it. I hate where this took me. Oh
It's
my
a dark
god!
place. It's a dark place.
Oh, I hate that I'm here because I think I really kind of agree with you. If the Joker doesn't win, it does seem like Andrade is.
Right?
Oh, that's disgusting. Um, I do hope the Joker is, if not MJF, I hope it's someone who needs a light shown on them that hasn't for a while. I mean, we could do a Jonathan Gresham.
No, not after his heat with Tony Khan. Unless they fix things, he's out.
Does he have
He's got major. Oh my god, major heat for Jonathan Gresham.
Oh damn. Okay. Well, we'll reserve that spot. I don't know. I'm looking forward to maybe a John Morrison again. I don't know, something. I feel like it's gonna have to be surprise worthy, but it's gonna have to make sense with the contenders.
Yeah.
With that being said, I'm still going Joker only because I hate in my heart that it could be Andrade, but I very much agree that it could be Andrade winning this. Danny would flog me for saying that. Jesus. Moving right along because I hate being wrong and I hate feeling like this. I feel like I need a bath. We're going to a singles match. We got Jungle Boy, who said it will be Jack Perry versus Christian Cage. I see no signs of Luchasaurus here, which ticks me off, but we know he'll make an appearance. Who you got winning Vegas?
I want it to be Jungle Boy so bad, just because, let's just keep pushing him up the card. I think it's going to be Christian, though. I think now, admittedly, if Christian loses, he can survive. The veteran heel losing, that's absolutely fine. He'd be able to stay in his spot without much worry. Not that big a deal. But I think AEW is in need of top heels right now. Christian could be that, top heel Christian, but he is getting amazing amounts of heat. He's a believable veteran, and you could plug him into any spot, whether it's the mid card, the main event, upper mid card, lower main event. You could do a lot with Christian. So keeping him strong is important. And Jungle Boy is so over that any loss won't hurt him that much, especially if he looks great in the match. So my heart says Jungle Boy, my head says Christian. I'm going to go with my head on this one, and I'm going to say Christian Cage gets the win.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think the face, Christian Cage, wins. I I do believe that my heart also says Jungle Boy. I mean, it's the right move to, off this win, he could pivot greatly. Like this would be undeniable in his journey. And I think this pushes him up the card much more. And I also think he needs to win more than Christian. But I'm with you. If we're going to build a top heel, if we're going to push him and propel him to make him a heel and give him important storylines, he has to get this win to kind of override this feud. Then again, I don't know if AEW sees Christian the way we see Christian. So I'm kind of on the fence about it. I mean,
he's Tony Khan's favorite wrestler, apparently.
Oh, yeah?
Supposedly. That's what I heard when he signed.
that just made me like Tony Khan much more. Damn. Okay, so I'm sticking with Christian then. That makes sense. Christian is great. He's always been great. He's actually underrated. He's worked everyone. He's a workhorse, and I don't mind Jungle Boy losing because he's the heel. What do you think we have Luchasaurus doing? Is he coming back? Is he involved? Is he on Jungle Boy's side? Christian?
Here's my thing. I know everybody wants heel Luchasaurus because it'll actually give Luchasaurus something to do, which I totally get. I totally want Luchasaurus to have something going on. I don't necessarily think that means he has to turn heel and has to turn on Jungle Boy. I think it makes a lot of sense just because that's how wrestling works, you know?
Yeah.
But I do like the aspect of Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus being friends, not necessarily tagging the way they used to, occasionally supporting each other, but not being an out-and-out tag team, and Luchasaurus being a monster babyface. Just because I don't understand why he would side with Christian. There's no reason, nobody has given me a good reason as to why he would betray Jungle Boy for Christian Cage, other than jealousy, but that's not been the angle that's been played up at all. You know, Christian has never said, Jungle Boy's been taking your main event spots, or Jungle Boy's been taking your singles spots, or Jungle Boy's the reason you keep losing. Like, that's never been said. So it would just feel a little weird to me. But, you know, if it happens, I'm not going to be shocked. He is going to most likely get involved because he has been a part of the story since the beginning. But I could go either way. But no matter what, no matter how he gets involved, it's going to determine the winner.
Okay. Sounds good. I'll take that. As long as I see him, he can't still be suspended. What the fuck? But moving on, another singles match, just because I'm trying to save some of the, the title matches for the very end. We have Ricky Starks versus Powerhouse Hobbs. And I think
Powerhouse.
I think this is going to be one of those underrated rockers. I think this is going to be a fucking slobber knocker. Who do you think wins? I think they both shine, so I don't even have to ask who's going to shine. I mean, Ricky Starks is a walking fucking charismatic person, but Powerhouse Hobbs has been great in his growth lately. His promos has been on. I mean, I don't think anybody looks bad here. So who takes the win?
I have been pro Powerhouse since before he joined Team Taz. I liked him when he looked like he was going to be part of Moxley's little group where he kept supporting Mox. I'm a big Powerhouse guy, and he has grown so much in his time with Team Taz, being alongside Ricky Starks under Taz's tutelage. I think Ricky Starks' star power is undeniable. It's not a matter of if with Ricky, it's a matter of when. I think he could survive a loss a lot better than Powerhouse can because everyone's expecting more from Ricky than they are from Hobbs. Hobbs feels like everybody's Jannetty pick. I don't think that should be the case. I think they are two great stars in different ways that they both have a lot to offer, just a lot of different things to offer. The storyline makes me want to go with Ricky Starks because he's the baby face. I want the baby face who got betrayed to get the win. My fear for Powerhouse Hobbs makes me want it to be him because I want him to start out strong coming out of this split. I am going to go with my heart, though. I am going to go with Ricky Starks, and I think it's going to be, like you said, a banger of a match. Could be the sleeper pick of the night. I don't know, but it's going to provide a lot of fun.
I agree. I mean, we have so many matches that I think there'll be more than one sleeper, but yeah, this one is gonna fuck like really hard. This is gonna be a banger. I'm going with you. I think where Ricky is right now, I just think you put the rocket on him. You propel him. I think he doesn't see a loss for a good while after losing the title. I think he just goes up and up. His trajectory looks amazing. But I do also agree that Powerhouse needs the rocket as well. Like it doesn't have to be the same fuel. He doesn't have to be as fast as Ricky Starks because we know his star power and his potential. but I definitely think Hobbs needs to start, even if it's TNT title wise or whatever, he needs to start moving up in the card. So yeah, I'm going Ricky, but I think Hobbs looks strong. Absolutely don't make him look weak. I think the match is going to be great.
How great would Powerhouse Hobbs versus Wardlow be?
Oh, I'm like I've said that multiple times just to put it in the universe. I need that. And I actually think if Wardlow were to lose when he loses, that should be the loss. Because I don't see Wardlow losing to anybody else except for like Miro, and Miro
Yeah,
doesn't need the belt again right now. So yeah, I agree with you. Totally.
love it.
All right, we're gonna dwindle down now. We got about 3-4 matches left, and these are all the title matches.
Oh boy.
First, we're gonna do the tag team title match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship, where we have Swerve in Our Glory. Absolutely terrible name. I loathe it. However, I love the participants in the team, Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland, who are the champions, and they will be going against one of the best tag teams in the world to me. I'm sure Danny would agree. The Acclaimed, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster. I think
Scissor me, Daddy Chad.
Fine.
Yes.
I think as much as we give Max Caster, because he's phenomenal, I just want to take this time to shine a light and let everyone know that Anthony Bowens is indeed that guy. He is him. He's fucking great. This is a great team. Who do you have winning?
I completely agree with you on everything you said. Max Caster is amazing. His star shines so bright that it's hard sometimes to focus on Anthony Bowens. But Bowens is the worker of the team. He is great in the ring. I hope more people get to see that and appreciate him soon. That said, sorry guys, it's not your night. Swerve in Our Glory gonna retain. Their power levels are over 9,000. Yours aren't there yet. You know, you're at like a Cyberman level. That felt disrespectful to say, but I'm sorry.
Just a little bit.
Right? I'm sorry. It could be worse. They could be Yamcha, but
Yikes.
they could. I didn't say they were. They could have been. But I'm going to give it to Swerve in Our Glory. I don't think this is where they lose it. I do think it's just a matter of time before the Acclaimed are tag team champions, but I don't think All Out is the night.
As much as I agree with you, I am just going to say that I want the Acclaim to win, so I'm going to vote for them to win. I do. You made a whole bunch of valid reasons and you spoke so eloquently and blah, blah, blah. You're James. I get it.
I do my thing.
I mean, it makes sense. Swerve in Our Glory has only had the titles for 2 months, has it been? Maybe?
More or less.
I've noticed that they don't really do short reigns with the tag team championships besides the Bucks, which we had some discrepancies with that. It wasn't supposed to be that way. But I do think this team, this Franken team, if you will, I think they've come together, and I feel like they have to go through, the struggles and the back and forth of not being a team and being a team, and heel and face. And Swerve has already shown signs of turning on Keith and vice versa. And I think for that story to actually branch out, they have to have the titles longer so that we can actually see the implosion. But with that being said, I'm just still going with the Acclaim, because why the fuck not? Whatever. Who's gonna tell me no? And I have to represent Danny, who's absent, and I should not be representing him.
You should not. He does not need it. He betrayed us.
Yeah, I agree. Treason. But with that being said, I just, man, I really, really, really want the Acclaim to win and just take off and be seen every week, if not every week, a segment at least. I just want the Acclaimed on my TV much more. Swerve in Our Glory actually could bear being on TV more as well. So
I agree.
Some might debate, they could, they could fare well more on TV, but yeah, I'm going to Acclaimed. All right, next up we have a singles match for the AEW TBS Championship. the That Bitch Show. It is going to be Jade Cargill, the champion. I don't know her stats right now. She's like 100 or whatever, and she will be going.
Close.
She will be going against Athena, formerly known as Ember Moon, who is a great talent. This match is also probably going to be really good. Who you got winning? And why is it Jade Cargill?
Yeah, no, it's Jade. I feel bad because I want Athena to win something eventually somewhere, but it's totally going to be Jade. Athena is the replacement here. It was supposed to be Chris Statlander at some point. This feud has been going on what feels like years, but hasn't been that long. Athena's only really been with the company, I think, like 2, maybe 3 months. But this feud has dragged, and she wasn't even supposed to face Jade. It's going to be Jade. I think it's going to be a good match. I actually think this probably will be Jade's best match to date. But Jade retains and the streak continues.
I wholeheartedly agree. I think this is probably going to be Jade's best match. I also don't see anybody taking that title from her but Statlander, and not right now either. So
I mean, I think once upon a time I agreed with you. Statlander is going to be out like 6 to 8 months.
Is she?
Yeah, the same injury she had on her knee, she had on the other knee.
Shit.
No. Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
With that being said, we have to find more contenders now, because
right?
That totally just blew my long form storyline and shit. But I agree with you. It's definitely going to be Jade Cargill. I don't see her losing anytime soon. I mean, we even had the thought of her being the AEW Women's Champion in the mix at one point in time. She's one of the biggest women talents on the roster. You don't give her an L now, especially to, no offense, but a newcomer like Athena, who's great. She's phenomenal in the ring. And just to debate what you said, she has won the NXT Women's Championship.
That's true.
So she's fine. She's fine. She doesn't need a win.
She'll be okay, damn it.
Don't cry. Don't have a hissy fit. But yeah, it's absolutely Jade. I can't fathom. I can't even wrap my mind around Athena winning this. If she does, pleasant surprise, because I do like her as well, but I don't see it. It's not going to happen. It's smart booking. I think Tony's ahead of this. We know what's going to happen. This is Jade. All right. And then we are pulling into our final match of the night, which will, of course, even if it's not, be heralded as the best match of the night, because the participants in it are fucking phenomenal. It is the singles match for the AEW World Championship with the champion, which I hate saying, but Jon Moxley, versus former AEW World Champion CM Punk. Who you got winning, and why is it CM Punk, Cyril? Why is it CM Punk, Cyril?
No pressure, no pressure, no pressure, no pressure, no pressure. I do think it's going to be Punk.
Yeah,
I do. The question is it going to follow a heel turn? Because if it's not, what was the point of all this?
Right.
It wouldn't make sense anyway. You should have just kept the match at the, not had the match happen last week. Just had it happen here. Have Punk turn heel. I was going to say have Punk turn heel regardless, but no. Just have Punk get the baby face. Yay, I won in Chicago and I'm the rightful champion. But they didn't go that way. That's not the route they took. So I have to believe it's going to be a heel turn. And I don't know where we go from there. I think this is going to be a brutal match. I think there's going to be blood. I think Punk is going to bleed. I think Mox is going to bleed because he can't walk down the street without bleeding. But it's going to be a brutal match. It's not going to look anything like the match we had last week. Punk is going to bring his best to Mox, and I think we're going to get Punk. And there's something in my gut that even if we don't get the heel turn, I think we're going to get a confrontation at the end of someone. My heart wants to say Brian. It could be someone new. I don't know who that could be, but I think there is going to be something special after the bell rings.
I agree with you with everything you said. I think you made the right decision. I think AEW will make the right decision. I will, however, have to speak about my discrepancy. I think that they dropped the ball a little bit here, even though this match is going to rock and the feud is off and on, but they're great promos and they're great wrestlers and they're great guys. I just have to echo the fact that me, the biggest CM Punk enthusiast on the pod by far, I do not think we should have CM Punk as a two-time AEW World Champion right now. I just think it's he was handled a little. I mean, of course, he's a great buy. He's a necessity. He's a prospect. He's a, you know, whatever you want to say. He's great. He's going to be great. He brought the casual fan in. We're super glad he's back. Best comeback of all time, debatably. But I just, something doesn't feel right. It doesn't sit right in my soul, him being a two-time AEW champion when we have so many other contenders who need to be up or around that area as well. Brian. And like it kind of, it doesn't shit on Brian, but it shits on the journey. It shits on a little bit of what us fans want and needed. I just feel like Mox shouldn't have won if they were going this route. They could have had Punk win and then him fight Mox again. That would have been fine. And then Mox lose. I kind of don't see why Mox had to win. That, I think that's what it is for me. With that being said, I don't think he's going to win on Sunday. If he does win, I would be surprised and I would probably scream "fuck AEW" in my head a little bit. But Jesus. I'm trying to be like you and be optimistic and just trust that the storyline is going to broaden and become great and they're going to paint a perfect picture and we're going to get either a confrontation or some shenanigans, maybe an interference or just something that, you know, sparks an idea of a storyline later. But with all that being said, yeah, I'm going Punk. I mean, I said it earlier, Brian and Punk, I don't go against. And if we do have a Brian and Punk stare down, I am going to cream my jeans. I think everything I said before then will absolutely be null and void. And AEW is the best company in the world, and I don't have anything bad to say about anything. If they do that now, I almost don't think they can do that now because I would probably die. I would need my life alert button. But I just feel like my asthma would trigger and heart attacks would ensue. But with that being said, yeah, I'm going Punk. I think it's kind of the obvious answer.
It feels that way, right?
Right. Yeah, it feels like, I mean, but again, it felt like the obvious answer last week and we were shocked. That's the unpredictability I don't like. I don't like when I'm very sure and it's set in stone who's going to win and who should win and then they don't win. I don't like that. But with that being said, yeah, I'm going Punk. We're going Punk. Danny's going Punk. Rev is going Punk. Eric is going Punk. Nick Maniotis is going Punk. David is going Punk. It's Punk Nation. It is what it is. With that being said, guys, that is the long. And when I say long, I mean long. It's going to be a long pay-per-view, so please pop your popcorn. Make sure you eat your dinner. Buckle up. Make sure you have the mental bandwidth to deal with a 4 to 5 hour pay-per-view because that's
take the appropriate bathroom breaks, please.
Yes, that is important. Know when you got to go, man. But with that being said, we are the Mark It Down podcast, and this has been AEW's predictions. Thank you and good night.